Yep, it's a cold, wet, icky day and I'm heading to the greenhouse with baby pepper plants. I must be mad, but there's a reason for it. I got a question that I thought, since today is pepper topping day, it's a great day to think about how we could answer the question. So let's go. Okay, so as I said, the whole thing today is I'm going to talk the peppers, and I will talk to you about it and take you through it, as always. But, right, this time of year, I always get the same sort of questions start to come in, and I see them on social media as well. And it is generally around, can I put my insert the name of a warm weather crop plants into the unheated greenhouse yet? Or when can I put my, insert the name of the plant, into my unheated greenhouse? Now the thing is, I always tell you guys, I don't like just giving you a simplistic answer, because I want you guys to learn to think for yourself, to take the info you've got and evaluate it to work out what's best for you, because there is no one single answer out there, and if we just copy other people, that's when we sort of head into hurdles and have problems. So this came in, someone was talking about peppers, and I've always told you guys, peppers are a warm weather crop, more so than tomatoes. Peppers like to be warm, they do not like the cold. So I usually say nighttime temperatures of 12°C and above for your peppers, okay? And you'll hear me often talk about temperatures for a plant to survive, and then temperatures where they will thrive. Because let's be honest, if we're growing something that produces fruit, we don't just want that plant to survive, we want it to produce the fruit, the peppers, and to do that it needs to thrive. So here we go then. 12°C and above is the nighttime temperature you want minimum for your pepper plants. Minimum. Ideally, those plants want to be 15°C and above. That's their happy range. Although in summer, you want it to be below 30°C, because that's when it's too hot and they don't set fruit. So then, in saying that, the simplistic answer is you can't put your pepper plants in your unheated greenhouse until it is consistently above 12°C in there, including overnight. So that's it. Simple answer. No, you can't put your peppers and tomatoes and things in your unheated greenhouse yet. For me, I usually wait till the end of April before I put them out, and even then I'm keeping an eye on things. So here's the thing that got me this week, because I just don't know the answer to this. Someone asked, well, how come then you sow seeds in the greenhouse in March and you grow all those seeds or seedlings on through March and April and everything's okay? Do you know what? That is actually a really good question. I don't know the answer. I just don't know the answer to that. And you know what that means? There's going to have to be an experiment. Right, okay. That's why these guys are out. I brought them out anyway because, as you can see, it's time to top them. They've got little buds forming and a little growing tip, and there is more than 4 true leaves on there. So I usually top them when there's between 2 sets and maybe 4 sets of true leaves. So that's what I was going to do here today. But let me just sit up and we'll go on with it. Hang on. This is going to be a bit harder because the greenhouse is quite full now. Do 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 do. Do do do. You go there. Can you see me? Right. Okay, I've got lots of extra peppers, okay? I only need 2 of each variety, but I've got these spares. So what I've got then is, I've got 2 of everything I'm growing. So that's 2 King of the North, 2 Steve, 2 Orange Horizons and 2 Californian Golden Wonders. In the house, they're all nice and toasty in the house with the grow light. And that means they've got the perfect temperature. It's nice and warm in the house and those temperatures they like. And that grow light is on, giving them all the light they need. Because, you know, our house isn't bright enough to grow like plants like this in it. To be honest, houseplants struggle in our house. But there you go. They're perfect. They're safe. They're happy. That is the crop I intend to bring out to the greenhouse end of April time and pot up in my quad grows to grow. These are the spares. So how about, as an experiment then, what have I got? Doopy-doo. Right, there's a couple of things to think about here. I've talked about how the plants need heat. Heat is the key factor here. If it's too cold, I think these plants will just get super stressed and probably die. Okay, but at the very least they'll get super stressed, they'll get stunted really badly, and basically I won't be able to revive them in time to be able to get a decent crop this year out of them. That is what I think will happen. Now, I think that because I grow seeds in here and grow those little seedlings, and they are fabulous. There's no problems with the temperatures. But I then tell you, don't put your plants out here. So here's the thing, right? This is not scientifically proven. This is me thinking common sense wise why that's the case. I think it's because as your plants get bigger, they need more. Okay, so these little guys are now quite big and they're going, okay, it's time to produce buds, which then produce flowers and fruit. In order to do that, they need a lot of nutrition, they need really good environments, no stress, to keep all of that going and keep those little plants happy. But when they're little seedlings, they're not trying to do that. All they're focusing on is just growing a little bit. So they don't need all of that perfect environment. They don't need all of that same amount of nutrition and things to keep them going. That's why I think that seedlings are okay in my unheated greenhouse at this time of year, but I don't think big plants will do as well. That's my thinking, not scientifically proven. Which brings us to today. How about then? I have plants indoors right now. So I have got 2 of each variety. I've got 2 King of the North, 2 Orange Horizons, 2 California Golden Wonder and 2 of my lovely Steves in the house where it's all toasty and warm, and they have grow lights, so they've got all the gorgeous light they need. Those are my babies that I intend to grow in the greenhouse this year. Hence, I'm giving them perfect. I'm making everything right for them. These guys are spares. So I thought, normally I would just keep these going. I don't really stress out about these guys the way I do the other plants, because these will probably, if they survive, get given away. But, you know, I don't stress out over it. So I thought, how about then we use these as an experiment? How about I do this? This little Steve, how about he lives here for the rest of spring? And how about this California Golden Wonder joins them? And maybe this Orange Horizon. And maybe even a King of the North if I've got space somewhere. Because these little guys will get all the light they need if they're out here in the greenhouse. March and April onwards in my garden, in my greenhouse, it's getting light. It's great. We get lots of light. The sun is up about 6:30 in the morning now, and it doesn't set until 6 o'clock at night. It's quite bright, even on a rainy, overcast day like today. so they'll get the light they need. The problem's going to be the cold. How is the cold going to affect them? So let's do something else. Let's do this then. These guys are out in the greenhouse. They will have no protection from the cold. So these guys then, how about I put them in my heated propagator? So it'll be relatively warm in there, not as good as them being indoors, but you know, I can put this to say 15C, and I'll put these guys in there. And that way they're in the greenhouse, so they've got all the light they need. They'll get some warmth from being in a heated propagator. How will they do? So then we can come back later in the year and we'll compare these guys with these guys. And then we can compare them to the peppers I've got in the perfect scenario indoors. And we can look at, is there any damage? Is there any signs of stress? What's the difference in growth between them? Colour, health, which ones are fruiting, not fruiting, all of that kind of stuff. So how's that for an experiment? So there we go then. Another episode of Eli kills plants so you don't have to. It might go horribly wrong. We might learn loads of really interesting stuff, but we'll find out. Say, have another check-in end of April when I'm ready to pot up and we'll see what's going on. Now I said I was going to top my peppers today. That video I will put out midweek as a little bonus for you guys, just if any of you are wanting to see what that's all about and why I do it and are all the myths online true. But in the meantime though, to tide you through, YouTube thinks you might want to watch this video next, so I'll leave you with that. See you folks!